I know what it's like to have no options. I know what it's like to be alone. I know what it's like to pick your pockets and not even a dime to call your own. No, God only knows. I've been through highs and the lows. I've been down, down, down before. I've been through hell and back, and the flow's still cold. This is a song by Ruslan. It's called Cold Flow. If you like hip hop, I suggest you listen to this song. It's a very dope song. In the second verse of the song, it says, I've seen the bottom. So in comparison, I cannot acknowledge anything I'm facing today as a real problem. This brings us to today's topic. Does suffering build character? This is one of the biggest arguments that natalists like to use when we bring the problem of suffering into an argument. They say suffering builds character. So it's not always bad. They'll give you examples of people who've suffered a lot, and because they've suffered a lot, it became great people. Who not gonna sell? I'm Pac on bail, Snoop with a meta case, Eminem on pills. This aligns from one of those dope freestyle by Rain 910. He's a smack rapper. It's not even a smack rapper. He's just whack with smack. He said, "We're not gonna sell. I'm Pac on bails. I'm Pac on bail." When Pac got released from prison, he went crazy. You could see that this guy is angry, like he's about to kill everyone. I would say the kind of anger that he had because of the amount of suffering that he had went through built his character in a good way and in a bad way. He was ready to kill everyone, but he also had a great he also had crazy work ethic, and that's why he was able to give us All Eyes on Me, one of the best rap albums ever. That's why he was able to record the Don Killuminati 7-Day Theory in like 7 days. He came out much stronger than he was, but he also had a lot of anger, and that's basically what led to his demise, because he felt like Big set him up, and so he started this whole East Coast West Coast thing, and it led to his death, and it led to Biggie's death. Kanye West, after the car accident, gave us College Dropout, one of the best rap albums ever. It's a very, very dope album. He recorded a song called Through the Wire while his jaws were still hurting, and it became a very good song. 50 Cent gave us Get Rich or Die Trying after getting shot. I wanted to say 9 times. I don't believe he got shot 9 times. I mean, come on. He got shot multiple times, but not 9 times. But after that, he gave us Get Rich or Die Trying, and it's a very dope album. Khabib Nurmagomedov, this guy is a UFC fighter. After the death of his father in 2020, I think it was 2020. This guy gave us the best performance that we've ever seen from him. He was fighting against a very good striker, a guy with good wrestling defense, and he completely dominated the guy. It was like, wow, like dude. So yes, pain can build character, suffering can build character, but we must also look at things that are negative that have happened because of suffering. Behind every school shooter, there's suffering. You know, when people feel disconnected from other people, when people get bullied a lot and they feel like they do not fit in, they become angry. And sometimes their anger manifests in that way. They become school shooters. They become serial killers. Some of them just become isolated. They isolate themselves from everyone, and they just start to hate human interaction. Some start to suffer from anxiety. Some start to suffer from depression. You know, and in most cases, suffering does not build character. Many people are fucked up because they've suffered. They didn't become great. You know, there's just some people that have managed to conquer whatever, you know, they went through, and they came out and became the best version of themselves. But it doesn't happen with everyone. Just very, very few people. And it just depends, man. You know, sometimes if, for example, you're an artist and you go through tough times, yeah, it might bring out the best in you. You might actually make better music because you've went through suffering. But what if you go through suffering and you're not a creator, you're not that creative, you're not an artist? What happens then? It might make you hate people. It might make you feel disconnected from other people. It might make you want to hurt other people. You see? And the reason why we are in the state that we're in as a collective is because there's so much suffering in the world, so people are unable to connect with one another in a way that is real. You see? That is why we are in the situation that we're in today. So, looking at everything, I would say that suffering is not a positive thing. Even though there's been instances where people managed to turn their lives around and became great, it doesn't necessarily mean that suffering is a good thing. It just means that some people were able to discover themselves through suffering. It can also happen that you change and become a better person because something great has happened to you. You see? So it doesn't necessarily mean that, oh, a person must suffer so that they will become great. So therefore suffering is good. It's really not the case. It's just that some people learn a lot. Like they take their times to learn and try to build themselves up when they go through tough times. It does happen, but also you can be inspired when you feel happy, when you feel connected to other people. And I think that's much more effective, because if Tupac felt inspired, if he didn't get shot and he didn't get convicted because of the rape charges, and he met people that truly cared about him and that inspired him to be, you know, a better vision of himself, I do believe it still could have given us great albums like All Eyes on Me, but with a message that was much more positive, and you know, without hating anyone, without dissing anyone. And we'll have never seen this stupid West Coast and West Coast beef. I always feel like this fighting shit is stupid, man. Like, why do humans fight? It is so fucking retarded. Like, you can communicate. You are given you have this power of language, even though I feel like it's limited, but you can communicate with other people, but because of failure to communicate, you decide to fight. Because of your ego, because you're still vibrating so low, because you're still a monkey, you feel like, yo, you gotta fight with other people. You know, this ego bullshit, it sucks, man. But yeah, this whole East Coast, West Coast thing wouldn't have happened. We wouldn't have seen many school shootings happen. We wouldn't have seen many serial killers, go on a killing spree. We wouldn't have seen people decide to exit this place, because people don't get this. People exit this place because they are suffering. It, like, some people might say, oh, that's why we must force people to stay here, blah blah blah, because we can change it, or we can change their mind, or whatever. No, man, they're suffering because they see that there is no real connection. People are not really that caring. They just pretend to be caring and all this bullshit, and yeah, they end up exiting. But it's really because of suffering. You come into a world where there's so much suffering, and you can see that the world is upside down, and you're also going through your own shit, your own personal shit, and you feel like, man, fuck this shit. So that's what causes people to exit. So to say suffering builds character, to use that as an argument against antinatalism is just stupid. There are a lot of good things that can happen because something bad has happened, but that doesn't mean that bad things must happen so that good things can happen. Because when good things happen, more good things will happen. That's how it works. Than if something bad happens. Some good might come out of something that is bad, but it's nothing compared to what can come out of something that is good. You see? So it's a very, very silly argument against antinatalism. You can't say people must suffer, or suffering is necessary. We are suffering because we are in a lower state of consciousness, and we don't know how to get ourselves out as a collective. Antinatalists are saying, yo, let's just stop bringing more people here because it's a fucked up place. We're in a fucked up state of consciousness, and there's no way we're going to change this. And that's the truth. There's no way. Do you think there's going to be a hero? There's someone that's going to really change how things are in the world? We don't get to have this kind of heroes. That has never happened, in history. Americans have had what Martin Luther King. What did he do? Because what happened is that slavery took another form, or racism took another form. It seems like this is the problem that arises because of our state of awareness, because of our consciousness. What are we creating as a collective? I've said this so many times before. I've said that even if they gave you heaven, you will turn it into hell in a blink of an eye. Because the problem is in that you are put in a fucked up world. The problem is your state of awareness. You see? There's nothing that you can do. Human beings are inherently evil and stupid as well. There's nothing we can do about it. We can speak the truth. And you know what's going to happen when you speak the truth? People are going to misunderstand you. You see? And they're going to continue to hate you because they're programmed to reject the truth. So it's a trap. There's nothing you can do. The best thing is antinatalism. It's to stop bringing people into this piece of shit world. That's it. You win. Period. That's how you win. That's how you beat this evil process called evolution. Someone once commented and said evolution. He said that he thought I said evolution, and I was like, that's actually dope. We must call it evolution because it's a very evil process. I spoke about how we get to reproduce, that we are being manipulated into reproducing. It's not like it's something that we consciously want to do. Many people have reproduced by mistake. They didn't want to have kids. They weren't ready, and then they got tricked by evolution, and then they found themselves having kids. So you can see that something is wrong there, because if it wasn't if this world was actually good, there would be integrity in the whole process. You see, we would have power over this whole process. We would be choosing consciously to bring people here because that's what we really want. But nature has to fuck with us. You see, nature has to make us desire things so that we can, put more and more people into this fucking trash. That's what the fuck is happening. So suffering doesn't build character. It creates psychopath, man. It makes people disconnected. It makes people not want to open up. You see, the reason why Rick, I was talking about Rick in one of my previous videos. Rick didn't talk to people. He did talk a lot about suicide ideation, but the reason why he didn't tell anyone when he was really feeling like exiting is because he knows that people do not care. It's fake. It's fake love. He spoke about that shit. So you actually realize that the whole thing is fucked up. Like the whole thing is backwards. The whole thing is trash. And there's nothing we can do about it as a collective. We don't give a fuck about the truth. Human beings don't give a fuck about the truth. They never do, bruh. And in many situations, when you bring up the truth, people are gonna fucking leave, right? People are gonna hate you. People are gonna try to cancel you. They only cancel truth. Have you noticed that? Have you seen someone who's lying getting cancelled? I'm being like, give me an example of a person that was lying and they got cancelled. I mean, they let this priest lie to people. They let all this religion indoctrinate people. Tell them some of the most evil shit, some of the most traumatizing shit. I mean, look at how kids are being taught about hell from a very young age. That shit is fucking traumatizing. That shit is abuse, bruh. That shit is abuse, and this shit is not getting cancelled. You speak the truth, you get cancelled. You remember Joker? The movie Joker? It showed us the truth. It showed us how trauma can fuck you up. Right? It showed us how the guy was. His name was Arthur, right? How he was in the beginning. He was a very cool, caring guy. He loved everyone and he was fair to everyone. But people treated him like shit. They put him in a trap, because he was kind. They put him in this trap where he didn't even know how to react, and then he finally gave up and then came out as this motherfucker that wanted to hate everyone, and he did just that. Why? Because he felt disconnected. That is the truth. That's something that our society is refusing to look at, you see. So we must stop lying to ourselves. Suffering is fucking horrible. There's no point to this fucking evil process continuing to happen. There's just absolutely no point. This is happening because people are vibrating at a very low state of consciousness. They still wanna they're still attached to this shit. They're still attached to these pleasures and all these things that are making us try to protect this shit by any means, as if it's actually good. They're not realizing that this place is evil. Alright, thank y'all guys, man. Subscribe to the channel. Let's keep on pushing this movement. The truth is very important. We need to spread awareness. We need to let people know what is going on, because I do believe that truth can also be contagious. You see, it spreads like a virus. An idea can spread like a virus, and if enough people get to really think the way that we do and then get to see the truth that we are seeing, I do believe that we can do something. We can evolve as a collective, and realize what we need to do, what needs to be done, so that we will save everyone from this humiliating experience, from all this fucking suffering that's going on, from all these delusions and illusions. It's very, very important, guys. I mean, when you look at the things that are going on in the world, you just be like, come on, man, like, How the fuck do we justify this shit? How the fuck do we justify war? Look at how stupid we are. There's war in Russia. I mean, in Russia and Ukraine. Like, these people are fighting. They have nothing better to do, so they're fighting. That's how stupid human beings are. Fighting for what? Territory? It's fucking monkeys, man. Think about it. These human beings are so fucking stupid, bro. And there's nothing we can do. We're stupid. I'm stupid too. Right? Everyone is fucking stupid. It's not like I'm excluding myself. I know that that's how we're programmed, you know. It's just that when you keep on working on yourself and keep on trying to evolve, you do see things for how they are. You do see things from higher levels of awareness, and that's where you start to also question your own intentions. You start to question your own desires. You start to question your beliefs and stuff, and that's how you evolve. You see, and that's how you get to align yourself with the truth. This is not an easy process. You see, the truth is not easy. The truth is what makes people feel like exiting this place, because when you are dealing with truth, you feel like this place just isn't shit. You just see it for what it is, actually. And how are you supposed to feel? How are you supposed to feel if you were in a prison, but you didn't know that you were in a prison until, you know, something happened to you and raised your awareness and you realized that you're in a prison? You're not supposed to feel good. You're supposed to feel like shit. And that's what happens to many people who, you know, end up exiting this place. You see? It's very, very important to acknowledge what suffering is doing to people. We are more disconnected than ever because of suffering. Bruh, when humans are really happy, they tend to do things that are good. Have you noticed that? Like, when people are actually happy, they tend to disconnect. I mean, to connect with one another in a way that is better. They tend to, you know, do things that are good for them and other people. The reason why people are doing fucked up shit is because they are suffering. Suffering makes you feel disconnected from other people, from everything. And because you feel disconnected, you want to do bad things to whatever you feel is not part of you. People are not gonna go and kill someone that they feel connected to. It's not how it works unless you're that fucked up, and that just doesn't happen that often, you know. So it's usually when people feel disconnected from other people that they tend to do bad things to them. You see, there isn't popular kids that be shooting up schools. Whenever you hear something about school shootings, it's usually kids that were bullied by everyone, kids that felt isolated, kids that felt alone. Why? Pain, suffering. You see? Do you understand now? That suffering isn't as good as you think it is. It fucks people up. Right? It makes people anxious. It makes people disconnected. It makes people, you know, hate one another. So we shouldn't lie to ourselves. Alright? It's Benedict Times the Vegan, yo. Peace.